Everybody, it's Patrick at the Pitch Deck. We are here with another Yuzuri game for round 4. I win the die roll, and I choose to go first. Typically, when it comes to Yuzuri, you want to go first for some of the inertia that could come through as an isolate, death touch, but we have AB1 technically because I will never get past the threshold for the Arcanine Skullcap, so AB1 and Flick Knives with the Black Tech Whispers for his equipment.
This will be Crucible.
Pretty good start for the first Kano off the top. I believe I have 2 more blues.
Maybe one. 36. 36. What are these two?
These are my hand.
Oh, oh.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, I do know that there's a lot of things with high skater. Whenever local is like actually competing in golden high, because he was just like competing against some things. I remember.
Even with AB3, if you were to bring it, I would still rip this off the top just to make sure that I can get maybe a pot off the Kano activation that I can see. This is even better because it's AB1. I believe he actually said that he left his Oasis at home because he also didn't think Wizard was going to come to the RTN.
Tomofindo. Two float. Draw two.
Tomofindo was always nice, drawing 2 blues. Here I'm still counting a little bit of how many cards we had. We do have an E-pot. And then we just pass.
Nothing for me.
4 damage plus an E-pot should be fine. So our pitch deck is just a bunch of blues right now, so
Nothing for me.
not particularly great. Here we have a Codex of Blood Rot, which could be a Death Touch in hand. And then he just wanted to be able to play it in Arsenal.
29, 36.
Oh, I take that back. It's actually in CNC, which is interesting.
Blocking 6.
Yep. Ponder a pop.
Yep.
Over to you.
Draw 2. 2 float.
We're going to gain some extra life.
38. No, you're 36. I'm sorry. That's 30.
That's 2 Tomofindos down, which is kind of nice to get them out of the way and maybe make way for some more E-reacts.
Okay.
And well as another spindle, so we're drawing pretty hot, and we have another blue, so we're just going to shoot this for 4 instead of pumping it with the Crucible.
This is my hand. This is the opt.
I think I'm counting again to make sure that I'm not losing my count. So we see another E-pot, so this is really good. These spindles are doing its work, finding our potions pretty quick.
Take it to 2 from the blood rot.
Yes.
We take 2 from Blood Rot.
29.
All good?
Yep.
Here we have an Isolate.
So on hit, it's kind of like a poncer. It gives the card off the top.
You can still use D-React, it's just we gotta wait for the window when he wants to use Zuri.
Any responses to the activation?
No, user is fine.
Send in the hammer for 6.
Now we have a D-React in hand as well. We have a Fate. Go ahead and shred. This would have been good if we did block, actually put a card in front. But I can't remember my hand. So it is a wildfire, I didn't want to block.
Reverberate with a 1 float. No floating after that. Reverberate comes first.
What is that?
For 1 damage, and then just, I don't have anything in my hand, so there's just 1.
It's nice to get these disruptions
Take the 1.
to pretty much just go past it, and then we would get the banish off the top, but I think I forget it now that I can remember the...
This will come in. I'll play it, because I banished it.
Because usually it's just the one thing off the hand that we usually forget, but...
That
It's an additional one when it hits.
banish. Epot.
So now we have our third Epot.
I'm going to take this to 10.
3.
Yep, 3, so 3 damage. 26.
Yep, and then we both forget it. Now that I'm seeing it, we both forget that we have the banish off the top, so...
Tunic will go to
And that's the
0.
reason why I'm pitching from my hand, is I don't want the banish full Thoughtseize going on. Especially when I had a combo piece in hand.
Well, no. Okay. So this is gonna get rid of this, right?
Of give and take, the only thing that we can stop from it is basically a D-React, which I don't care for these to hit. There's only 3 in the deck. They're only 3 damage, so... I'd rather say the D-Reacts for something a little bit more
23.
threatening for an on-hit.
Ravenous Rabble for 4 go again.
Ravel, I think that was showing a CNC.
Yeah. It'll danger for 1
This is a lot of damage I'm taking if I just don't want to block this because I don't know what's coming off his. And it could be a stealth card in Arsenal, which then he can use Zuri for a card in hand. So I'm using Sync now because I believe that I won't be able to use it off the CNC next turn, even if I were to just play out my hand and then Arsenal in it, because then it's a dead card in my hand or in my Arsenal, and then I have to force blue cards or cards that I don't want to use.
No sync.
No sync? Shakedown for 6.
Here we have a shakedown, and it's just a vanilla shakedown, but he can use his Black Tech Whispers to give it the text that's basically written on there. Which means if I'm going to block, to block, and just to make sure that the Black Tech doesn't go through, then this Arsenal needs to be a good Arsenal slot because there's a CNC coming in. It's either that or don't have it in the Arsenal slot.
Over to you. I'm just going to RC that pass back.
No blocks. Reactions. I will react with
But if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's a second CNC, and that was the one that was in Arsenal. So I think there's 2 CNCs.
make a seismic surge and pass to you.
He overpitches the CNC that he showed. Potentially to throw me off to think that that is the only CNC that's going to be coming through. I want to say that there's 2 float. And at this point, I think I've given up on the stack and counting still, because I can just hammer down on a maybe on a D-pot line. First, I have to get the D-pot, but
Oops.
It's okay. Yeah, sure. Move down.
Seems good.
I think his decision would have changed if I did block the Orberclast.
Gain 2 off that.
We pitch away our Blazing, gain 2, which is our last Tome of Findel. That's nice, having 2 Tome of Findels actually gaining us a life.
Keep it on top.
Now we find our D-pot and then potentially a combo piece on top. But that D-pot actually, now that I'm seeing it here recorded, that shouldn't have happened because I must have forgotten that I had used the Tome of Findel and I can just play it, but we both missed it, and I didn't do it on purpose because I'm recording this and putting it on YouTube, so sometimes you forget some of the things. It's been a long day. This is our last round, so actually this is our 4th round. The last round will be round 5.
For a bit of class.
I'll take the 1.
It's a bit tricky on certain situations with certain hands. What I've got is going to be block or no block on the Orberclast. So this will just be a 2 block, if anything. But we get a little tricky here, and we say no blocks. And we're hoping for a no shred. Because we have a D-react in hand.
You never managed to hit this against someone with 2 cards in arsenal before. Alright. It is done. Yes, it is. Alright, so you go to 20. And you've got, can I see those real quick?
No blocks.
I will react. Black tap was first, sir.
Gotcha. We'll throw that one.
Okay.
And pass it to you.
We choose not to sink.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
So we do have 2 blues, if I'm not mistaken, and then maybe a wildfire in hand, or an arsenal.
Kano. My action.
Just getting a little bit of chip in. We're gonna... Okay, so it was the Tome of Aether Wind plus a blue.
For 3. And I'll buff anything.
Now we're gonna just shoot it for 3. And then I think we drew into a wildfire, which will allow us to have the blue in our hand and then just hopefully be a 0 cost.
AB 1.
So it is taken to 30, 23, right?
Yes. Okay.
Tunic. Lesson on lava for 5, because you did the 81.
And again, I'm messing up all over the place. I don't know why. I'm just realizing this now, so I need to make sure not to do that. So we play a Home of Aether Wind for an action point, and we're not able to play this. So that is something I gotta keep in my mind. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm actually catching this via record, so hopefully I gotta say it out loud maybe, I say it sometimes where I'm saying, this is for my action point or something. I can probably try to track it with my hero. So a lot of missed stuff that is coming across, and he's not catching it. I'm not catching it, so I'm not doing it on purpose, I swear. But that was definitely illegal because I hadn't played the home from.
And I'll use it to just send in with a choke slam.
Basically turning this off. Yep. Okay.
So basically, this turns us off our hero power. Not bad for certain heroes. I'm kind of glad that they made that instead of just allowing maybe rangers to have sleep dart. So he overpitches for the humble and has no float, I believe. So he has one card in hand, which means that I could go off now with this Depot, but I want to check D-Reacts, I think, because I got burned last time with the Yuzuri, so that's one of those things I need to evaluate too when I'm thinking.
Block 3.
But no, we just block it for 6.
Move down step.
You're in steps.
I think I have a D-React in my hand, and that's probably... That's what it seemed like I might have had when I drew up.
That's it. I used my tunic last turn. Now it's at 1. Yep.
Just verifying that my tunic was good. Okay, so we got the Nourishing. That was an Arsenal.
6 dominated.
Take 5.
We were here previously in the last Yuzuri, so we got to make sure that there's a very high chance, if not no more D-Reacts in our deck. So we get the full suite here from the full block, which I knew that was the count. So if you would like to give me the entire thing, then that's fine. Arcanine Skullcap is fine to bring if I was hammering down a little bit more, and it makes sense for AB1, then I can pressure a lot more, and his life total would gain the extra block. But then if I were just full on aggro package instead of pitch stack package, then I still wouldn't have the Nourishing in there. So.
All good?
Yep. Good.
I'll have to know if he brought only AB1 and then switch. I believe you still do the AB3 pitch stacking package into Yuzuri, and you just adjust for damage for trading. Rather, do you want to just take more and then damage back?
Take 1. 22, 30, 27.
So here we have a Codex. Good thing we have an Arsenal, because this would have gone into our
That matters.
Arsenal, the Nourishing that we just used.
Wish I had a weapon. Talus Arcane.
So here we have a CNC with 1 card, which would he have to discard, and then 2 float. Now he's all tapped out, and I can look to go for the kill here with what I potentially might be able to do. And I want to say that is a combo piece in my hand, or in my arsenal, so I want to make sure that this is a good combo line. And this is a Wildfire in arsenal.
Using that Terra Thunder to swing for 4.
If it was an Artivoy, it would have been so different. I would have been freaking out. But like, I was like, okay, this is maybe
Kano.
So we see a 0 cost. I want to say the flare's in my hand. So we see a 0 cost. So that's a good start. E-pod in response.
Kano. Hold priority and potion.
All back on top.
Yep. All back on top.
Kano goes on there. We have enough resources to be able to do what we need to do. 3 rags.
Rags in.
I want to say it was like a red. I think it might have been another D-React, which is good, but be able to get the blue one that was on top because we manipulated it that way.
Crucible. One float. Float. Pop. Pop.
We'll do the full suite, which is 6, 10, and then 17.
And then this will be 2. We're go to 1, and then Metacarpus.
Which we can still pump the flare as well, because we just pop another E-pod.
1 from there. 1
And I think
float,
our tunic is
because, yep.
do that or just use tunic.
This is coming in for 6. 20.
Might as well be safe and then pump everything.
3. Go down to 1, and then pay for 1 Metacarpus for 1 left over. So this is coming in for 10. 10.
Since we have the nodes, we should be able to do it for 17, 18.
Frog paying into Metacarpus node for
And that's it.
17.
So we're going to get round 5 for you guys, and it'll be the last one before the top 8 because we had 22 people come through. So that was only 5 rounds instead of 6. So thanks for watching and enjoy the next video.
Not